Hi everyone. Good morning. I hope you guys are doing okay. There's been a lot of action last night, especially this morning with the pound. Uh, so give me a second to get everything lined up here before I start. And I have water this morning, so I can actually talk. I was pretty parched after 3.5 hours yesterday. All right, so we'll get to the pound in a second. With what's been going on with that. I'm going to show you. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Hello. How's it going? Um, so the trade I took last night in the U.S. Was what time was that? I think it was about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that I took this trade that you're seeing here. This was on the New Zealand Japanese yen. And you can see that this is the trade I posted. I posted this trade on the forum or on the in the chat, and I describe all that, what I did, what I was looking for, where my entry was, and I was only looking for 20 pips. It took about 4 hours for this trade to close. So what was happening during that time was the odd news came out, which was, well, let me get that for you. It was retail sales. Now they came out negative, and I entered this trade right before that news came out. It was about 30 minutes, so I entered at about 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Now, the Australian news came out as negative, but the odd actually started rising, which is interesting because that's the same thing that happened earlier when they cut rates, and it also rose. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Okay, so it took about 4 hours for this to move into my profit, but it was hit. The most it was in drawdown was about 12 pips, and I locked in profit of 20. Okay, so that was my only trade in the last day or two. Now I told you I would talk about the euro US dollar. As you can see, I have no trades left in. This big move pushed my profit. I hit profit right about in here on all of my on my basket of trades. I think I took a picture of it right before it closed. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, that's not it. Okay, here it is. All right, so yeah, I took this literally 5 minutes before it closed out right here at my take profit level. So this is my take profit level for all my trades. So it was trade 1, 2, 3, and 4. That was a quite a big basket, and I entered at the top of this position. So I said most of my subscribers missed my first three trades because of the promotion that I have going on for 2 free months. So most of my subscribers actually got in on my basket right up here. So they hit this top entry, which was obviously my best entry, and they rode this all the way out into my take profit point. That was 73 pips profit for them and 18 pips for me. So I was still happy about the 18 pips, but for them, they got the 73 pips because they entered on that late. So what that got me thinking of was, if Potter's here, I think he is, he was mentioning a little bit about my money management the other day as well. Now, Potter, you were asking, well, why not be a little bit more flexible with your risk levels? Well, I talked about martingale. I talked about semi-martingale and how I feel like martingale is always pretty is risky. It puts you more at risk for the trades. But I started thinking a little bit about uh, my subscribers hitting the 73 pips, and then also me only making 18 out of this whole thing, and then what Potter said as well. So as you can see here, back to this image, I had 0.24 lot trade on that first level, and then another 0.24, and then 0.24, and the same thing at the top. So what if on baskets like this, I'm going to go back into my trades and see how many times I hit multiple levels. Most of the time, from what I can see, my first level hits profit. So my first level hits profit about 73% of the time. And that's my current stats over the last 4 months. Now, what if on the first level I change that 0.24 and I do 0.12? Okay, so that means that I'll be taking less profit on the first level. But if I raise that to 0.24 on the second level and continue to raise to keep that level at 0.24 and then 0.24, that means I'm less exposed on the first level. And the same level of exposure on level 2 and 3 and 4. But overall, I'm going to be in way less exposure because the first level is half the risk that it was there. So in overall, I'll be when I'm in a large basket of like this, that means that when things go against me or happen to go against me, that I'll be in a much better place when it comes to drawdown because I won't be in as much risk, and I will also be able to have more flexibility on how much profit I want to take. Do I want to keep my same profit level when I change my risk on the first level? Do I want to raise it a little bit so I'm out faster? All that will depend on how I want to approach it. But if I kept the same profit level here with the lower risk level on my first level, then I'm going to come out with a lot more profit right there because of the higher increase in lot size. Okay. Hold on a second, guys. So I hope that makes sense. It might make sense to those of you that have been watching how I basket trade. But yeah, I think this is something that I'm going to be looking into. I won't be taking any other trades likely the rest of the week because of the NFP. But this is something that I'm definitely going to be testing or at least back testing to see if it shows potential. But from what I can tell, it's going to help me a lot. But it will slow down my profit on the first level, which is 73% accurate. But I will be able to potentially make up for the loss of pips or profit because of my lower risk on the first level when I basket trade on these higher levels. Okay, so I'm going to take that away for now. So let me know if that makes sense. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. Hold on, Street Smirk. Let me give you that link to my page. Hold on. Okay, so this should be what you're looking for. Street Smirk. Hope that works. Okay, let's see, Potter. I'm reading what you're saying. Ryan, yes, sir. Present incorrect. Yeah, Potter, does that make a little bit more sense, what I was saying? Yeah, you got the thumbs up. Okay. and also FX Magician and Armin as well. Okay, cool. Yeah. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of that approach? Do you think that there is more potential with it? Do you think that um, there is a loss of potential profit in it? Do you think it's better than my approach before? Might as well ask. Okay, uh, so for those of you on the pound, so I watched the hold on a second. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Potter, you're exactly right. That's the next thing I'm going to be doing later, probably this weekend, is crunching the numbers to see how many of those first levels actually hit profit. But from what I understand, and I explained to you guys in my stats previously, that my trade win percentage is at 72.3% or 87%. Um, and that's because most of my first levels hit profit. And in my basket trades, 50% of my trades hit profit after that. Um, that's just rough statistics. Um, and so I'm going to have to try to figure out what the actual number is and be a little bit more thorough with it to see if there can be some benefit from what I just mentioned. Yeah, Potter. Yeah, it's fine. It's just a thought at the time. It's not like that. Just because you said those things, it all of a sudden was like this uh, magical experience that I was like, wait a second, I can't approach this in a different way. It actually hit me when I noticed that my followers took that 73 pips profit from hitting the top of my level up here on my fourth trade. And then they took 73 pips, and I was like, well, dang, they took 73 pips, and I took only 18. And the thing is that on that move back down, that's instead of looking for my quick, you know, 20 to 30 pips, I'm actually needing to take more like 45 on that move down in order for me to get out of my basket. So whatever I can do to find a little less exposure, while it's important for me to not expose my account more than I was doing before. So whatever this new idea is if that does put me into more exposure when I'm in multiple trades, then I won't take it. But less exposure and potentially the same profit or more profit, then yeah, I will take that. Eureka moment. Not. uh, let's see. Yeah, Laser FX. I will backtest it. It makes sense. You can increase the position size at each level, require less of a pullback to get out. Some trades get into trouble with this, and if they get caught with large position, then didn't pull back. Yeah, John Z. This is called what you're referring to is complete martingale. That means when you're doubling your risk size every single trade. I wouldn't be doing that. I'd only be doubling the risk size after my first level. So cutting back the risk size by half on my first level, and then increasing it to my standard risk level that I've already been doing, and continue that for level 3, to 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and every other level after that. So I'm just having less exposure on that first level. I could do this for the first two levels. It's my choice. I don't know if I want to do it for the first two levels or not. But from what I've seen in my initial back testing of this, is that I rarely go past level 3 on my basket trades. It doesn't happen very often. Okay. So let's talk about the pound, since that's been going crazy. I watched I think it was Carney that spoke. Yeah, this morning, and I'm a little bit surprised of you guys that you guys were trying to buy the pound this morning. Um, it was a little shocking to me. I saw a lot of you guys purchasing and buying in the pound. hoping for a pullback after the big initial move. But you have to remember that they cut the interest rates. They cut the interest rates, and so the overall feeling of the pound is going to be negative, and it's going to be negative for a while because when they cut interest rates, yes, there will be minor cutbacks, but on an initial move, it's pretty substantial. So I was a bit confused why you guys were buying. And so what I would have been doing in this situation, which I was decided not to trade the whole thing because it was too risky. If you're buying on pullbacks, I would look at this on the 5-minute chart. I'd look at maybe re-entering on a small pullback. But the thing is that it's too risky trying to counter this move down when the overall consensus was that the rates had dropped and that you likely shouldn't be buying the pound. Now the thing is also is where I would be looking to enter. Now if I were a trend trader and looking to knowing that the pound's rates have fallen and whatever questions were said after the initial Carney speech to try to ease the initial fear that people have about the interest rate cut, that I would be looking to enter on the after the retracement of this small pushback up, and then enter again, and then I believe the pound is going to continue to fall. So that's on the 5-minute chart. I believe if I'm looking at the 15-minute chart, I'd be looking at the same thing. I don't see an indication on the 15-minute chart for me to sell after a push, but I did see that one on the 5-minute chart. For those of you that like to trade this kind of stuff, this is a bearish engulfing candle. It made a new high, broke the high of the previous candle, closed below the open, and then continued back down in that direction. Now you could see there was minimal ones here, like a harami, but that initial push wasn't a whole lot at that time. So even if you entered at that point, you could enter again after that candle, and then you push down. And then I would likely close out my profit there, or if those of you that want to hold could hold past that level as well. Well, I think it will likely be broken. Okay. Martingale strategy make people rich. It has been proven, but it only works for brokers. I don't know about that. I sense you being facetious. So, yeah, I don't know about how brokers, do their lot size. I know that a lot of them trade against their clients, even though they say they don't. Martingale is a good way to lose your money real fast, and you can gain some profits quickly too if you don't run out of margin before you do so. So yeah, just out of interest, does Martingale work well on micro account with very small lots? In order to get Martingale to work, you have to start really freaking small, and the thing is that on those, if you're right, say your first level is on a $10,000 account is 0.01 lots, then if you're profitable on that first trade, you're not going to see a lot of profit in general, just because it's so low. But once it gets up to higher levels, then yeah, there's potential there. The thing is that it's not worth it to me. That's why I'll never do a straight martingale strategy. The only one I've ever been really interested in is semi-martingale, which is what I considered, which is what I will consider on my trading, with my basket trading. Okay, so Street Smirk, yes, there is a place where you can copy my trades. Hold on a second. Go to this link. It's also in the chat, but it's been posted in the chat box as well. If you go to the post that Nick sent out to everybody, you can get 2 free months of my Signal service. You can check out what he wrote my stats on my FX book as well, which I'll pull up now. You can these are my stats, current stats, on my live account, and this is what it looks like on SimpleTrader. And this is what my strategy looks like at 13 times the risk. This is just for fun, guys. The 13 times more risk than what I'm doing currently. So you can see that I made 8% profit on this account, or 8%, 0.8%, which is a pretty good week for me, I think. And then I made 14% on this account, profit this week. Now this is a demo account. Yes, I'm going to admit it's a demo account. I think I even say it. Yeah, I say it's a demo account. And the reason why is because I'm just testing to make sure that my math is right and that I can risk 13 times. Now 13 times risk means that if I have a losing trade, which I had right here, that means that this account will be totaled. It will be margined out. It will completely be lost. Now, if you know Good Boy, you guys know Good Boy strategy. That's what he does. He risks his entire account balance on his trades. So why not have a little fun and do something similar? 13 times risk. So that means that if you guys are using my strategy or copying my trades, you understand that you can push the risk to whatever level you want. I don't recommend pushing the risk level higher than 13%, 13 times, because that means that if you have a loss, you will lose your entire account. So back to the charts. Oh dear! Wow, a lot of comments coming in. Shoot, hold on. Potter, this story is great. Ryan, what do you think of the USD news coming out tomorrow? Yeah, I'm going to get to that in a second. I have a lot to talk about, and I said I would only spend 30 minutes today, guys. I'm probably going to end up spending an hour. There's a lot of stuff to go over. Gosh, you guys are really talkative this morning. Dang. Nice story. Okay, so back to what's going on in the market. I said that I think this level down here on the pound will be broken, and I think that this will continue to fall. So guys, please don't buy the pound right now. It's probably wise just to stay out of it at the moment, but I do think it will fall more. Okay, so let's get into some of the trading stuff. Okay, what to talk about first? Okay, let's talk about the current trades that are coming that have come in. So you know about the NJ one I took already. The one I almost took this morning. Where's the pair? Is the the euro odd. Now I saw this happen, and I almost took that position. Now typically I look for 30 pips profit on the euro Australian dollar, and it only moved 24 pips total. Now, the thing is if I would have taken that position, which I'm not really sure if I think I might have been still asleep or something, or I just didn't really care to take it because the news is coming out soon, NFP, and the euro will be affected in some way or another. So I wasn't too keen on taking a lot of trades yesterday, especially being in some drawdown on the euro US dollar for a while. So I'm going to mark my first entry, hypothetical entry that I missed. And then I'm going to mark my second entry. So what I'm looking at, I'm not even looking at what's on the right side. I'm looking at what's here. I'm seeing a support level here, okay? And I'm looking at a few different factors. Factor one is my first trade didn't hit profit here. But my re-entry would have been 50 pips away at this level, and it would have been a pending order. So as you can see here, this trade would have had already hit profit because my profit level would have been about right there. So this entry would have hit there, and this entry would have been closed out there. So that trade would have been executed in 2 levels, and profit already. I would have probably taken anywhere from 10 to 15 pips. Why was this trade so good? Why did I almost enter this trade even when I was late? I was looking for an inside candle here. This 30 minutes before the hour, this candle closed. It broke the high of the previous candle, and it broke the low of the previous candle. And this is during the news of the pound news, which caused it to get a little bit. It fluctuated quite a bit during that time. I didn't get the entry, so I didn't want to go down here and enter here. It was too late. And again, the NFP kind of scaring me away from trades right now. So that's number 2. So good trade here, went against me. Second level, great level, bounced from that level. But the thing is why was this level so important? One, it was at a whole number. This support level was at a whole number. So that's one huge indication. 2, it's a support level from previous, because I just marked it with the red line. See, I marked it here. So that's 2 indications, or 3 indications. Price action here with the candle, whole number here, and support level here. Great trade, has a lot more potential on the upside. At least I think so. But I would have been out of this trade at this point anyway, so right now how it acts and behaves doesn't really matter to me. Factory orders coming in soon. USD. Yeah, there's not going to be much going on in the rest of the day for USD. Okay, odd US dollar. There was this Harami candle here, but this level wasn't broken. I would have never taken this trade. Now let's check the 4-hour chart. Also nothing. Not yet. Now I'm going to quickly move through these guys. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this stuff today. Okay, so there's no trade forming on the 4-hour in here. Not yet. For me. There was this trade I mentioned yesterday, and that was a sell order, new high, Harami candle, downward movement. Second level would have been entered there. You would have been out of that trade easy. Okay, next, the Euro-Japanese yen. Also some trades on this pair. New low, Harami candle. New low, Harami candle. This would have hit profit. This also would have hit profit. I was out of those trades. I didn't take them. I decided to take the NJ instead because it's a euro pair. I didn't want to take the euro pair last night, or a few hours hours before the pound news, the rate change. That would affect the euro as well. So I didn't want to take that position. And two, the NFP also is going to affect the euro. I didn't want to be in these trades during that time, so I opted out of them. Yeah, I missed out on profit, but I'd rather protect my account than miss out on some pips. So good trades there. What I'm looking at is the push down, great push down, a lot of pips, new lows were made. Like I said, counter the trend for a retracement. Those happened, and I stayed out. Okay, the pound is still falling on the against the yen. It's trying to slow down, but I still think that there's going to be more activity. The first time I'd be looking for this push down to stop would be some kind of bullish engulfing candle or a harami of some sort. But as you can see, all the candles are still very red. No slowdown hints at the moment. We can check the 4-hour chart. I think it's going to be the same story. Yep. Okay. Pound, Australian dollar, same story, down. AJ. Nothing in here. I don't see any indications for countering the trend there, that down move. This happened. This was a sloppy engulfing candle. Not a great signal, but it did make a new high. This is the new high that it made on this candle, and this harami didn't make a new high. It didn't pass the high of this candle here, but it was an engulfing candle, and it did go down. I'm not really sure if I would have taken that position because it was a bit sloppy. I'm not sure if I would have wanted to take that risk, but it did work out anyways. All right. Last few pairs that I'm gonna go over today. This could be considered a bearish engulfing. New high here. The bearish engulfing candle didn't break that high. I would want it to break this high in order to give me a hint of it more on the downside. It worked out still, but I wouldn't have taken that trade. Now this, there's a level here. Let's see if I can mark it again. So this level, looking at the body of the candles, was hit here, again here, and then here. Some of you, or I like when these levels are broken. The previous levels and this candle here made a new high by breaking that. Then I might have entered on this harami candle. Because it didn't make a new high, I think I would have stayed away. I actually even saw that, and I avoided taking that position. Okay, next. Okay, US dollar CAD. Even though this could be considered a trade, I think. No, it's not enough. It's not enough of a movement. I want this level to be broken down here before I take any positions looking on the upside. There wasn't anything in here. And nothing really to talk about on this pair. I'll get to it in a second. There is one. Was it the Euro CAD? I think it was the Euro CAD. Let me see if I can pull that up. Hold on. Yeah, it was definitely the Euro CAD. So this does have a trade, a potential trade. Or yes, okay. Down movement here. Not huge. It's still on its way up, but some people that like to trade trend lines. I was talking about this nice smooth trend the other day. You did have a breakout here. So those of you that trade breakout strategies, that would be in profit for you. Now I did see this small Harami candle after this initial push down. Now I wasn't sure if this push was big enough to actually counter that move, and then I checked it, and to me it was barely enough enough of a push down in order to counter it. This would have been my entry. I again avoided because it was a euro pair, and I would have entered my trade on the next candle. As you can see, it didn't go into profit. It went down again. But if you look on the 1 hour, you will see a couple things. You'll see this here, and then you'll see this forming as well. So there's definitely some kind of support in this area. But why am I not going to take this position? It would probably be a good idea because look, I would have entered here, and if I enter here where it is currently, I would be in a better position, right? I would be 20 pips lower or 23 pips lower than I would have been if I entered higher. So why not enter a late trade? Well, the thing is that again, the euro, I didn't want to enter this trade because of the NFP tomorrow. And not only that, if you look at the news for tomorrow, the CAD has news coming out too. Yeah, see unemployment rate. So trading the euro CAD is a definite no-go for me. Okay, so let's see what else there is to talk about. This odd NZD, sloppy reversal candle. It did close above the high of the previous candle, but it didn't break the high there. It's still a sloppy signal. I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it right now. My bet is that it would go down a bit, but I want to follow my rules pretty closely. And if something's looking a little bit more unsure, then I'm not going to take that. But I'll follow up that with you on this move, the odd NZD tomorrow, just to see what happened. Okay, so you guys know that I took this trade over the night. I looked at that candle, saw it. I entered on directly the next candle after, and then looked for 20 pips. It eventually did hit after about 4 hours, like I said. I looked for 20 pips, but it looked like I was considering pushing for 30. But again, I knew a lot of news was coming out in the next 10 hours or so, and so I played it safe and looked for just 20. All right, anything else? No, I'm not going to talk about any of the other pairs unless somebody's begging me to do so. Okay, I'm looking back at the chat again just to see what's going on. Any good reads on money management? I don't know. Let me think about that for a second. I'm asking my buddy. Let's see. Okay, so it doesn't look like he has anything either. I don't have anything off the top of my head. Like I said before in the last stream, I read like half of a forex book. Most of the money management techniques that I've learned were just from trial and error. Like I said before, I had a bunch of EAs built to test money management strategies. My initial thinking was to try to find a money management strategy that could profit uh, in any market. So that means that it doesn't matter if how good the system is. The system could have a 50% win rate or less. And I wanted to try to invent or find a money management technique that could still profit even in a condition like that. And it just happened with a lot of testing. That's my story. I know that there's other people that have different stories with how they've come up with the money management that they have. USD, Japanese yen. Yeah, sure. Maybe I did forget to talk about this pair. I told you guys that the hints I received from the yen helped me get out of my euro US dollar faster. When I had saw this Harami candle here and didn't expect it to push up. The push up was a lot more than I expected, especially on the euro US dollar. When I entered on the US dollar Japanese yen, I entered on the euro USD at the same spot, which was actually right up there. So the yen still in the downtrend. A lot of people are still trying to sell this pair. The yen is still strong. And I'd be looking at this level. These levels here and here are just not as important to me. If this breaks, then yeah, it could continue, but look for this lower level to see if this level breaks down here. And if there's a close below that level of that candle, then yeah, you could see more on the downside. And if that is on the downside, then the euro US dollar is likely going up. All right. So nothing really that I'm looking at on this pair. Again, I told you about the lows that I'm looking for. I'll be looking for that level to be broken. Then I'd be looking to counter that move down. That happened down. Right now, there hasn't been enough of a move up for me to counter this move. It's not big enough for me to counter trade and then go for the downside. If I was trend trading, it'd be a little different. If I was using this type of trading for trend trading, I'd be looking at this Harami and then going on the downside. And then I'd be looking at nothing else. There's no indication for me in here of more downward movement. But yeah, definitely right here. And for those that trend trade, typically if they entered right there, they'd still be holding right now. If I was trend trading and I entered there and I'm still holding, I'd enter a second position up here or even here, just in case the bounce was higher up. Now, if you guys are looking at Fibonacci levels, this would probably be a Fibonacci 50 on this move up here to down here. I guess this would be a 50 or 60 level. And a lot of people say, oh, the yen does a 40% pullback, or some people say that. Yeah, I would be looking to enter another trade there and potentially a third here in the hopes that this would move up, hit those two levels, and then pull back down. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to check out YouTube. Oh, wow, a lot of stuff going on YouTube. Sorry, guys. Diego, you're back. Dude, you should head over to forexsignals.com. Forex Signals. Wow. Forexsignals.com and chat with all the people there too. It seems like it'd be a pretty good community for you. Diego, I'm from Maryland. At least that's where I'm living right now. Oanda, Jimmy Megan asks. Big spread in money management. The spread doesn't bother me. The execution is what bothers me. The fees on top of that. The spread, okay, I lied. It's important, right? I mean, spread's always important. But the thing is that I don't trade high spread pairs, and I don't trade news. So what's the problem there? To me, it's nothing. I usually won't trade on any pairs if the spread is more than 5 pips. And most of the time, I'm looking on pairs that are 2 to 3 pips, especially since I'm taking only 20 to 30 pips profit on my trades. What does this mean? A little bit confused. Thank you, Patrick. Okay, thanks for letting me know about my mic. Sometimes, yeah, it is a little too close to my face. Let me know if this is better. I keep forgetting to do that. Hold on. Okay, that should be better. Is there a website or program I can trade with fake money on naked layout? Yeah, pretty much any broker will allow you to do that, or any forex trading broker. I recommend Oanda, and just because I'm in the U.S. Oanda is also a good broker if you're out of the country, out of the U.S. as well. But I really like them. I trust them. I've been doing business with them a while. I have $9,500 with them invested, and I've already withdrawn that and redeposited a couple times now. And their withdrawal, they have no withdrawal fees for me at least, and they're quick, very quick. Hey Ryan, are you going to trade the new spike on the pound? No, I am not going to trade that. As I said before, I stay out of news. I mean, I know the news is pretty much done. The pound has done its dip, and I expected it will continue after with some retracement, which is apparently happening right now during that process. So the levels I'll be looking at for support on that big move. I'm going to go to the 4 hour. It's going to be easier to peg what I'm pointing out. To me, there's other small support levels in there as well. I mean, there's one probably in here. There's one, yeah, there's one in there. But right now, if I'm on the 4 hour chart and considering how volatile this pair has been, then I'm just going to mark these two support levels. Now, that first one has already been broken, so the next level I'd be looking at is here. So what I see happening, so if I'm really breaking this down, I would see this retrace potentially back up to this level. It already has done that once. It went down, went to the level, gave you some flags at the top, and then headed back down. Looks like that same thing might happen again, and it hit that level. Now, if it closes above this level, this line, then you could see more on the upside. Now, the candle body needs to close above that level. And if it does on the 1 hour, then yeah, it could push back up. Now, if you could potentially get more flags like this, and if you do, then I would see it potentially go back down, break this level, or at least keep playing down here. You know, it went down, it went back up, it went back down, and is it going to go back up? If it does, is it going to break through? If it doesn't, is it going to go back down? You know, it's just a bunch of guessing at this point. But I won't be taking any trades on this pair unless I see some kind of sure sign. The thing is that scares me because this is still, if it closed right now, which is still has 40 minutes left where it is, that would be bullish engulfing. It closed above the open. It broke the high. It made a new low of the previous candle, but it didn't break the low of the big push. So this is still a very sloppy signal if it closed where it is now. I wouldn't take it. And still understanding their interest rates were cut, it's too risky for me. Also, it's on the USD, and the no farm payrolls tomorrow. Not worth the risk to me. Hello Ryan, I set up an account to get your trades, but I don't get anything. I don't get anything. Any suggestions? Uh, Andre, um, or George, Andre George. I think you should message SimpleTrader.com. I can put a link in here to see. But the thing is, they should give you an EA that you connect to your MT4. And that EA places the trades that or copies the trades from my account to yours. And so whatever you're having problems with, please let them know. If you did my trial, then you should get some kind of receipt. Tell them the system that you're trying to copy. It's this one called uh, let's pull back on where is it? Here it is. Ryan Analyst US Compliant Signal. So look at that uh, and tell them that's what you're trying to copy trades for, and they should be able to help you out. Their support's pretty good. You've done that already. Hmm. What did they say? Short on the pullbacks, pound. They said to contact the provider. So what are let's see. I'm trying to figure out what you're asking. To set up my account to get you in trades, but I don't get anything. Oh, are you talking about you don't get anything? Like, have you already set up everything? Like, everything's set up. Your EA is set up on your charts. I don't have any trades in right now. And I probably won't have any trades in for the rest of the week. Is that what you're asking? Okay. Yeah, you got to be patient. I take trades. I'm not in trades all the time. I'm very picky with the trades that I pick. Now my latest positions were I show on the thread that I sent you to, which you can see. You can see what the trades have taken already, um, and I explain where I took profit, how many pips. Usually, this is the latest one I took was today, or about 8 hours ago or so, and that will probably be my last trade for the rest of the week. I would guess, unless I see something that's completely magical. No, Andre. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Um, no, that's not the thing. I'm not always trading, so keep that in mind. You should see stuff go in. Let me see. Show me. Let me know if you see this. So I just put a pending order in. Now show me. Tell me if you see something on your account that shows a buy limit. I have a trade open. You're trading the pound. Sorry, forexsignals.com. I'll come back to you guys in a second. 31, 363. Now, are you buying there, uh, sir? Sir Newer? Are you shorting? So you're shorting right now. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was saying to do is to short, and it looks like you got in on a pretty good spot. That's where I would be looking to short a little bit, potentially. I see an engulfing uh, candle there. I mean, that's just on the 5-minute chart. But the thing is that this could slow down. The big push is now done. I don't know if that's going to continue. Uh, is it obviously this has been kind of ranging it a bit in a way. So it seems like that initial jump down could be done, but we'll wait and see. As of now, it's definitely slowed. That doesn't mean that it's going to jump up from here, though. So keep that in mind. No pending order. I'm not sure if they do pending orders, if pending orders show up in on the copy accounts. So I'm not sure if that is a good representation of what I'm trying to achieve. But Andre, keep in contact with me. Go to I don't want to post my email here, but send me a YouTube message if you're still having trouble over the next after Monday or Tuesday. You should see trades that go in if you have everything set up correctly, and especially if you talk to support and they told you that everything looks like it's fine. So don't worry too much. It's a free trial. It's 2 months. We have a lot of time to figure that out. All right, going back to forexsignals.com. For those of you on YouTube, go to forexsignals.com. This is where my chat, the official chat room is going up on, where you can watch my stream as well. You can sign up for sign up for forexsignals.com for free, and you can see trade ideas from the users there, and you can follow some of the best traders in the world there as well. Okay, so let me go back to Forex Signals. Ryan, talk about the USD news tomorrow. Can you send Ryan's link to my FX book? Thank you, FX Magician. No, I don't think I'm going to today. I don't think I'm going to enter any trades. I said before that that many of the pairs will be affected by the NFP. All Euro and USD pairs will be affected, I believe, in some way or another. That's why I picked yet last night. That's why I traded the NJ, because I felt like that wasn't going to be hit as hard if I with the NFP. Just in case it went south on me. It didn't. It hit profit. The only trade I would consider at this point would probably be the sloppy entrance on the odd NZD right now. But nothing. I don't think I'm gonna take that. It's not good enough for me. So we'll see if we get some kind of pullback on the pound. If it does, I expect it to hit that point or get close. This isn't a trade on the 1 hour, even though this is Harami candle, a bullish Harami. It didn't break that low. I wanted to see that break that low first, but we already had signals here and here that were profitable. This very well could jump from there anyway. Okay. I'll talk about the news a bit more before I sign off. The USD news tomorrow. I don't know what to expect with NFP. It's always a complete gamble. And what I do know, and what I explained yesterday, if I'm on the 1 hour chart, this is the outcome. I know that's going to happen. You're going to have one of two things. Likely, if it's really negative or really positive, it could just shoot down in a big down or up in a big way without any bounce. So it could just go down or go up. Now the thing is, what usually happens with NFP is there's a whipsaw. So if the news is positive US, then it would go down and then do a whipsaw and make up ground on that. And most of the time, it does surpass the dip. It covers the entire first dip that happens, or vice versa. You have a whipsaw and back down. If the news in Europe or the USD news was negative, then you'd have a jump with a possible move back down. Now, because things have been really shaky in Europe and shaky in the US, in regards to the Brexit. It's been a lot. It's been a heavy news couple of weeks. So I don't really know how it's going to react. My initial thinking is, instead of this whipsaw action that happens, I think it's going to be more like this. I think that the news will be, if it's negative, it will be a whipsaw, but it's going to be more choppy. I don't think there's going to be this clean cut type of action tomorrow. And the whipsaw is not going to be as evident to as what I'm thinking. Again, it's just a guess. My guess is probably not going to be beneficial to you guys at all, because I don't think a prediction like that is really tradable. I'm not going to be trading the NFP tomorrow, so why should you, why should you, unless you want to gamble? Yeah, seriously, it's like I really don't know what's going to happen, and so what's the point of trying to predict? Because your guess is just as good as mine. Do you? I don't do a buy limit or sell limit. I will sometimes do that. I never do it for my first entries. I do a market order for my first entries, and we'll do sometimes do pending orders for my re-entries if a trade goes against me. Okay, going back to YouTube one more time, and then I think I'm going to end for today. Uh, PvP, the cutting rates means that the financial health of that country is not great. And so that's why when they cut the rate, that's why the pound dipped so hard. Ryan, are you a full-time trader? Yes, I am a full-time trader currently. Okay, Forex Signals is not my webpage. A lot of people keep thinking that. Forex Signals is a partner website that I do a stream on, and I help other traders out. I do a live stream, and but it's not my website. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of good info there. I recommend checking it out. Okay, so that's going to be it for me today, guys. I don't think it's necessary for me to talk more. I'll briefly be on tomorrow for probably about 30 minutes, right before or just after. Well, it's just going to be just after the NFP. I might try to join in a little bit earlier if nobody's on, if nobody's actually there doing a stream before me. I might try to pop in during the no farm payroll so you guys can see some of the action. I won't be on long for long. I will likely come in 15 minutes before the news. If I do 8 o'clock, I might even do 8 a.m. and then I'll probably end at 9. So 8 to 9, and potentially that would be my schedule. So a little earlier tomorrow. I won't change the schedule on the page that you see. I'll just come in about an hour and a half early. If Tony or Jay are not covering the NFP. So I think that's it. So you guys have a good day, and hopefully you make something. And please don't trade the pound. I don't think that's a good idea. Not yet. And also because the NFP is coming tomorrow, I really recommend not to trade a lot in general until that news comes out tomorrow. Even if you're a gambler, don't be dumb. Please don't be dumb. Okay. All right. That's it. I'm gonna sign off now. So you guys have a great day, and